Step right in, don't miss the show. Big Fat Rick is ready to go. Big Fat Rick, Big Fat Rick, come on in for the slickest trick. Big Fat Rick, Big Fat Rick, tune it now, he's your midnight pick. Big Fat Rick, Big Fat Rick, stay tuned now for the Big Fat Rick Show.
Welcome back to the Big Fat Rick Show. Got another amazing episode for you. We have special guest today, D Risen, and then we have a Money Nichols Part 2 interview, which I'm excited about. Excited about both of the interviews. I hope everybody's having a good day. Right after this will be Rickrugerreviews. Send your music to rickrugerreviews@gmail.com for a free, extensive music review. And we'll see you right after this for that. All right. So our first guest, he's kind of newer to the community. I don't really know a whole lot about him. So doing this interview is probably a good thing. You know, we get to learn more about him. So I'm going to welcome in D Risen. D Risen, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, bro? How you?
Chilling, man. Chilling. How you doing, man? How you feeling?
Maintaining this world. Maintaining, bro.
You seem to be in a good mood.
Yeah, you know, you gotta try to be in a good mood. You know, if not, bad things might happen. You know, that's for everybody, right?
Hell yeah, man. So, oh, thank you, babe. So, for everybody meeting you the first time, right? You go by D Risen, as in like the resurrected, I'm guessing, right?
D Rising.
D Rising, my fault. I've been saying this shit wrong the whole time.
I mean, it's cool. It's the same, you know. It's all the same, right?
All right, D Rising, my fault, bro.
Yeah.
I'm the jerk off. I'm the jerk off.
It's cool.
And you ain't even tell me. You ain't even tell me, bro. You just let me. Bro, friends don't let friends be jerk offs.
I mean, how can you? You know, a lot of people mess my name up. You know, even my government. Like if I spell my government, like you see my email, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's my government. Like you won't be able to even say that. Like if I told you, you'd be like, what?
D Rising. Okay, well I got it now though. I got it now. So for people meeting you for the first time, man, how would you describe your music?
As of right now, hip hop and R&B.
Just straight up hip hop and R&B.
For right now, you know, I'm half Jamaican, so you know, some reggae might come out of that, but right now it's hip hop and R&B.
Got you. And what was it like growing up in Paterson, New Jersey?
Well, no, I didn't. I never grew up in Paterson. I'm from Somerset, man. I was born in New Brunswick.
My fault.
Yeah, it's cool. Maybe that was Google. I don't know. You know, Google be fucking up.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I'm from New Brunswick, bro. I was born in New Brunswick. You know, I grew up in the Grove and Somerset. Somerset and New Brunswick, they're like a highway away from each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like crossing the street. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up on both sides. I was mainly raised in the Grove, though.
What was it like there? Is it like city or you know what I mean?
At one point in time, like I'm gonna say, like the 90s and maybe the 80s, you know what I mean? It was considered like up there, like how you would look at Newark or Trenton or Paterson, something like that. You know what I mean? Nowadays, they got Rutgers over there, so you know it's died down. You know what I mean? But it definitely used to be up there with like the cities at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, they know about New Brunswick because of the Rutgers, you know, campus and Rutgers football team and the Rutgers basketball team and, you know, stuff like that when it comes down to the college. But other than that, you know what I'm saying, it used to be just like how, like I said, how, most of these cities is in every other state. Like it used to be a city. Now I guess it's coming back to a city now because of the colleges, but as of living there, like it's just like every other city, every hill, every city got a hood, you know what I mean? And we all get our share, right?
So you moved to North Carolina?
Yeah, man. I moved to North Carolina a couple months ago.
Okay, so that's a new move. That's fresh.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So what brought you from Jersey down there?
Just a better living for my kids, you know.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. You
That's
got
being
fam
that's mainly it.
you got family down there, whatever.
My mom, she from Virginia, so that's a um. But as a Carolina, I got a lot of cousins that moved from New Jersey to Carolina. So I got some cousins that moved to Georgia. Um, I know a couple friends in Alabama. Like I said, I got family in Virginia. So yeah, and Baltimore, B-more, can't forget B-more. So yeah,
Yeah, that's not that far from me, More. That's right down the road. So you
yeah,
so
yeah,
your cousins influenced you to move to Carolina?
yeah. Actually, yeah. Not it was a few years ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just say like that. It was like a few years ago, maybe like almost a decade ago. You know what I mean? They was telling me like, yo, you need to get out, you need to come down here, man. Like you can still do your thing, but because they know I do music, so
Yeah.
they like you still do your music, just move down here, get your bread right. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Because it's expensive in Jersey, bro. It's like
I know, I know,
cost
I
of living
know.
is crazy.
Yeah, bro, you talking to somebody that actually understands that portion of it, bro. Because in Philly, it's
Yeah.
the same shit, bro. Same
Yo,
type
it's
of shit.
it's crazy because I was gonna move to Pennsylvania. I was gonna move to Pennsylvania, but
Yeah, you
yeah, I
did.
was, I was, I
I
was,
think
I
you
was
did
so
better.
close from. Yeah, I definitely did. I made the right choice. I made the right
Yeah.
choice.
Where was you gonna move at in PA?
It wasn't gonna be by Philly.
Yeah, no,
I'm from the hood, bro. I can't go to the. I can't be in the hood and then go back to the hood. You feel me? Like
yeah.
I can't do that.
This the
My
super
name is
hood.
D. Yeah, my name is Rising, bro. I gotta upgrade. You know what I mean? I gotta
Yeah,
level up. I always gotta be
yeah,
better than yesterday. You know what I'm saying? No matter
right.
what it is, I gotta strive to try to be better. And if I don't, there's always tomorrow. You feel me?
I don't blame you, bro. You said something about that the children also were at the root of the decision. You can't raise no kids here. Well, you can, but you shouldn't. Let me rephrase. You shouldn't raise no kids here, bro. Ain't nothing for them to do other than get involved in Philly shit, and we both know what that means. You know what I mean? So yeah, you probably did the right thing. No, ain't no probably. You definitely did the right thing. But what's been the biggest adjustment since you've been down there since up here? Because I know there was a lot for me, most of them food related, but yeah, I mean, that's a different topic.
I mean, yeah, food related. Yeah, you hit it on the money. That was it, probably. Um, yeah, that was kind of it, probably. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm familiar with the South anyway. You know what I mean? It's not like I came down here and didn't know what was going on. I
Right.
might not know street politics. You know what I mean? But as of the culture and how it moves and how things are run, I'm always aware. No matter what, it don't matter if I'm going to California, bro. Like I'm gonna do my job and I'm gonna do my due diligence to find out how that town is, how that city is, from the schools to who the mayor is, how the community feels about each other or how they feel about, how it's being run. Like I do my due diligence. Like I'm that way. I can't stop that. I'm that way because I do get paranoid. Like I do be sitting there knowing that shit can happen. So you got to be aware. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But for the most part, I didn't have to adjust to anything except for food. Like I like to eat healthy. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to eat healthy. I could say
Yeah.
that.
Um, Police move a little different in Carolina
A
than
lot.
Yeah, you move a little
A
different,
lot,
right?
a lot different.
Yeah.
A
Be
lot
careful.
different. I
Be
mean,
be careful.
I, I don't do myself like that. You know what I'm saying? Pause. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't. You know what I mean? Like I don't do myself like that. I can't just be out in the streets like that. You know what I mean? To where I'm
Yeah.
gonna have the police see my face like that. You know what I mean? Like um, I'm a lot older now than what I used to be. You know what I mean? Especially me doing music and having kids. You know what I mean? Like I have to be responsible. You know what I'm saying? People are watching me because I'm doing music. My kids watch me because they my kids. You know what I mean? So it's like I got to be responsible and I got to move right. And I lost a lot of people and friends because of it. You know what I mean? Still is. You know what I mean? Like I understand the whole movement. And like some people can't get out.
Yeah.
Um, so I just learned to just stay out the way, bro.
Absolutely, bro. So, what is it that you doing now for work? Are you a cook or something, or you do kung fu? I can't tell by how you dress. Can't tell by the way you dress if it's because kung fu, you know what I mean, or you a chef. It's one of the two.
Nah, I have a 9 to 5. I work at FedEx, man. I have a 9 to 5, bro.
Oh, word? FedEx? Shit. Okay, because you dress like a kung fu master right now.
Nah, this my rap gig. It's this rising right here. This ain't go check in at the podium. You know what I mean? This is rising right here.
I got you. When did you realize that you first wanted to start like making hip hop music?
Um, a few years ago, because for the most part, I was an R&B singer. You know, my mom, she was a singer. She used to background sing for Mary J. Blige back in the day. Like I don't know how to start because I'm a type person like you don't know who I am, but at the same time, if I sit here and tell you like I'm supposed to be somebody at this point in my life, you're gonna ask the question why, So it's like starting music was from when I came out the womb, like it
I
was
feel
always in
that.
my ear. You
I
know what I
feel
mean? Like
that.
my mom, like, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that perspective, bro. I agree with that perspective. So some people don't, but no, I agree with that. So your mother is musically inclined and was a backup singer for Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, my mom, my grandfather, he had a band in the 70s and the 80s. Um,
Oh shit!
yeah, like when it comes down to music, like um,
It's in the blood. I
yeah,
feel it, bro.
it's definitely like it. My
What
mother,
what kind of
my
band did your
mom,
granddad have?
it was like the regular, it was like the blues. It was like the blues, the back in the day
Okay,
blues,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Muddy
Like
Waters type sound. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
some BB shit.
Yeah, some BB King.
Yeah, some type. Yeah, yo, no, I feel it, bro.
Yeah,
Okay. So, what era
and
was your mom a backup singer for Mary? Was it the
it was when she first came out. It was when
oh
she first
shit?
came out because she stopped doing it because of me. She had me and she stopped doing it. My mom is related to the Braxtons. You know what I mean? But she was adopted and took over a whole new name. But she was born as a Braxton. She's part of the Braxton family, and she's from Virginia where they're all originated from too. So
That's crazy.
yeah, we're not in connection with them, I mean, growing up, my mom, she never due to the fact that she was adopted, I mean, she never wanted me to get into the music industry using them. So she never, try to connect the dots with us. She just said, you're gonna get in there, do you, just don't rely on them, you know what I mean? Because she got her story, you know what I mean? She didn't want me involved with that or let that even hurt me. She's just trying to protect me, I guess, but
I
it's all good.
understand that. I think I can understand that, bro. I get that
Yeah.
perspective. So, who were some of the artists that inspired you while you was growing up?
Whew. Artist growing up. like I said, man, it's been in my blood since I came out the womb. So you know, I remember the first song. I can sit here and tell you, I remember the first song that I heard ever, and said that I love music because it's levels to it. Like there's a song that I heard that made me say I love music. There's a song that I heard that made me say I want to do music, and there's a song that made me say I want to continue to do music. You know,
Yeah.
like so the song that made me really say I love music was the Temptations, bro. And it was because I was a kid. And you remember the time when the Temptations they had like this commercial where they was promoting like raisins, and they had a
Yeah,
raisin
California
mixer
Jones. Dun,
with the
dun,
California
dun, dun,
raisins. Yeah,
dun. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
yeah. I was
Heard
like
it.
probably like 4 years old, bro, and I seen that and I fell in love with that song, bro, and I fell
Yeah.
in love with the Temptations, and then my grandfather, he does music, so he had a lot of albums and shit. So I used to be sitting there listening to the albums, either if it was on a record or if it was on a CD. And he had some old drumsticks, and I used to be sitting there playing drums, trying to imitate the beat of the Temptations. Like, yeah, yeah,
So,
Temptations was definitely the first group or the first time I heard music, and I said I love music.
but like as far as hip hop, like who was
Uh-huh.
a few of the artists that you like that like while you were growing up, like you know what I mean, like you just was spinning their music like nonstop, like you know what I mean, like somebody you really looked up to as an artist when you was younger.
It changed a lot, bro. Like when I was doing R&B, when I started doing R&B music, because that's what I started doing first before I started rapping. I started doing R&B. I loved, I loved, I loved Genuine's music, bro.
Okay.
Tyrese music, Usher music. Like when they first came out, that's when I said, all right, I want to do R&B music. Even before, like, I got a whole story about that, but can I share with you real quick? Can I share with you this
Uh,
story real quick?
We got time.
I when I was 13 years old, bro, I lost my best friend. And this is all gonna revert back to the question that you asking, but I lost my best friend, and I used to bring him, his schoolwork because we was in the same class since like the sixth grade. And when I lost him, we was both in like the 10th grade. Um, he had cancer. It started in his arm and it spread it to his lungs. And I watched him deteriorate, you know, um, throughout our years of our friendship. And he was a DJ. They called him DJ Fluff. He was real big, like real big, like in weight, like Big Pun or Fat Joe. Like back in the day, Big Pun and Fat Joe. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Uh, he was big like that. You know what I mean? So his name was DJ Fluff. Um, I watched his he took his last breath, bro, um, in his living room because they had a a hospital bed in the living room, and they was trying to treat him because he had the cancer, and he was a big guy, so he couldn't be nowhere else but the living room. So I used to bring him his homework from school, every day, for like at least a whole year, and like I said, this was my best friend. Like I only had one friend before that, and he died. You know, what I mean, but that's another story. But he was actually my best friend after I had experienced a death from my very first best friend. And this was all at a young age. But yeah, I used to bring him his homework, and he used to always joke around. You know what I'm saying? Like his jokes was used to be like, yo, like mama jokes. He used to always tell mama jokes and shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So his last words to me was, "Yo, tell your moms I love them," and we both laughed. And as soon as we did that, that's all you heard was beep. That's all you heard. Um, it was only me and him in that room. I ran and told his moms. She came in there and did, everything, and I walked out. Um, I went home. Long story short, I went home. Uh, his brother was a couple years younger than us. So when I was in sophomore year in high school, his little brother was a freshman in high school. So we became real close. His name was Aaron, and we used to be in the basement fucking around with Josh's DJ equipment. And we had another guy. His name was Prince. Prince's mom and my mom were best friends. Prince's mom died from a disease, and that was my mom's best friend. So that's how me and Prince was connected. So we all connected, and we formed a three-man group called Exit Nine, which it meant we was all from New Brunswick because we all was born in New Brunswick. Um, and we used to be, playing with the DJ equipment, and it was Josh's DJ equipment. And we always said, we gonna do this, and things went left, with the group. Not nothing that had to do with the group itself. It was mainly like outside shit that had to deal with it, personal life stuff, that had to deal with it, to where we couldn't focus at it, with a group. I'm not gonna put everybody's business out there. But it was mainly that. It wasn't like we was trash or we couldn't get this done or that done, like we was about to be signed to Desert Storm. That's when they had Joe Buttons and Paul Kane and Fabulous, and they had the 18. We were supposed to be the first R&B group for them, but like I said, personal things happened and we had to stop doing it. So I went solo, and when I went solo as an R&B artist. Okay. just off of that. You know what I mean? Now fast forward, I did 10 years in prison, and
Whoa,
when I did 10 years in
we're gonna have to talk about that. Whoa, wait a minute, there, bro. We're gonna have to talk about that.
My life is a movie, bro.
Yeah,
my life is
a
movie, bro.
I've been 3 times, but so like we're gonna have to talk about that.
My life is a movie, bro. Like I didn't know how to start the interview or start, the whole conversation, because I know that most people, they rap shit that I done been through or my niggas been through that are still doing it right now. You know what I mean? And a lot of us are surviving from it. A lot of it is trauma. A lot of it is like you can't do nothing but do it. You know what I mean? Because we in the circumstances, like it's a whole lot of shit that I understand. You know what I mean? So yeah, I did 10 years in prison. And when I was in prison, long story short, everything's a long story short, because if I sit here and tell you everything, I'm pretty sure you're gonna want to do more than just get to know me, bro. It's like it ain't too many people out here in the world, that had the story that I got, and the path that I got. So it's I've been told this, and I have to look in the mirror every day and see that and know that and tell it and say, damn, bro, like, yeah, it is what it is.
So all right, well, so why did you get locked up?
On robbery. I got locked up. Why? Because I thought I was a father to a child. And come to find out I wasn't. I was working at Robert Wood Hospital, doing the right thing, working, getting the bread, wasn't in the streets. At least not, selling drugs or nothing like in the streets. I still was in the streets, but I was a working nigga in the streets. You know what I mean? So I was doing that, but at the same time, like I wasn't, in the streets where I was selling drugs. I was taking care of, the so-called child. And then I lost my job, and when I lost my job, the mother of the child, she didn't want to, really help too much, with this responsibility. She wanted to really depend on her family, but that's another story. But yeah, I was in a hard spot, to where I feel like I'm doing this shit by myself. You know what I mean? And I said, yo, I need to catch a jukes, bro. I got the ski mask on now, like I gotta catch a jukes, bro. And there is no family or friend that can help me at this point. Like I
So
need the
you,
money today. I need my daughter at that time. At that time, my daughter got to eat. My daughter need clothes. She's not so much of a newborn. She's like close to 1 years old. So, but it's like everything is like falling down at the wrong time because she's close to 1 years old. You know what I mean? That's like first year is like always the hardest, but when it's harder when everything is taken away from you. Like all the things that can help you is taken away from you.
so
So like
so so right before
yeah,
you, so okay, so this is your thought process, right?
my thought process.
This is what's leading up to you doing it. So right before you do this shit, right? Are you having any second thoughts at all? Or you know what I mean? You planned it out and you was like, I'm going in.
Yeah, I planned it out. I mean, it was never a second thought because I already don't went through the stages of asking for help. You know what I mean? And not begging for help, but just asking, or just mention it or I don't know, maybe sometimes expecting, what I mean, certain individuals, certain family members to help you in that situation because you gotta understand, I was 18 years old when that happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Well, 18
that's
year
my
olds
mindset
don't.
as an 18. Yeah,
Yeah,
at
18
an
year
18 year
old.
old, I'm expecting more help. You know what I mean? I'm expecting for people to guide me because I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I only
Yeah.
go off of instinct. I only go off of emotion. I only go off of that. So I'm not logically thinking right. You know what I'm saying? So in my head, I'm like, I call my mans up. I'm like, yo, I need to get this bread. He like, what you trying to do? I'm like, yo, we got to get a juk somewhere. Like we need to hit it. We need to hit some juks. All right, I'm with it. I hung up the phone with him. I didn't tell him what day I was going to do it. I just pulled up one day. Like a couple days later, I pulled up and I'm like, yo, what's up tonight? Let's go. He like, all right. I came back that night to go scoop him. He wasn't even there. He was gone. Called his phone. He didn't even pick up.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to
Um,
get involved with that shit.
long story short, long story short, yeah, he was doing other things, but excuse me. Long story short, but I went dolo, and
But you was hitting individuals, or you was hitting, or
nah,
you
I
or
was
you
hitting
ran up.
stores. I was hitting stores. I went on a robbing spree.
Like
A
convenience store,
robbing spree.
gas stations, the
Everything.
shit like that.
Liquor
Okay, okay.
store, everything. Everything. All the stores, all the corner stores, all the little stores. You feel me? I'm not going to Kmart or nothing like that. Back in the day, it was Kmart.
Yeah.
But
So
I'm
how
not doing
long it
that.
take them? How long it take them to corner you?
What you mean? Like, I mean,
How long it take them to catch you?
the third time, after the third time,
Damn. So you
somebody
had done it
followed me.
in.
Somebody followed me and put the tip in after I did it. You know what I mean? Somebody
So
followed
you
me and
had
put the
gotten
tip in.
away. You had gotten away with that shit 2 other times.
Yeah, a few times. Yeah.
Did they link you to the other ones, or
Nah, nah,
oh, you
nah.
straight? That okay, cool.
No. But they
So
still
they
hit me big. They still hit me big because they gave me 10 gigs.
that's
You
a
know what I'm
lot.
saying? That's a lot for an 18-year-old. You feel me? And
Yeah.
just turning 19, once everything happened, I got sentenced. I just turned 19.
Damn, bro. Okay. So they sentenced you to 10,
Yep.
and you did what on that?
I did
8?
10.
You did
I
the
did
full
10.
thing?
I maxed out. I was gang banging and everything.
Damn, you was getting DR disciplinary joints and fucking all that shit, huh?
I was in everything. Everything moving.
Damn.
Everything moving.
What what you say you was gang banging? What was you repping?
Oh, I'm still rapping. I'm just, I'm Fruittown Brim. You feel me? Like, we move different. You know what I mean? We move more militant. We're not like a lot of other gangs. No, 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 no disrespect to them. You know what I mean? Everybody got their own rules and regulations. But as I only can speak for you know, for me and for what I see. And you know, we were just more disciplined, you know what I mean? So it's a little different, you know what I
Well,
mean?
what umbrella does that fall under? Is that like
That's West
folk?
Coast, East Coast.
Is that like folk nation? Is that people nation? Is that blood crib?
That's blood. Oh, that's blood.
Oh,
It's
okay,
blood.
okay. Well, you said Jersey, man. I kind of figured, bro, because that's where all the Bloods I fought with. A lot of them was coming from over there, from Trenton. You know what I'm saying? Big time.
We all over, man. It's
Yeah.
like I said, it's a million sets out here, bro. Like
Okay.
from both sides, from both sides. It don't matter what side you on. Like it don't matter what color you bang. You feel me? It's a million other sets, bro. Like branches
Yeah.
off after branches off after
Oh, for
branches
sure,
off
for
after
sure.
branches off after branch off. Like the shit keep going. The shit going now because I don't like to get into that, but it's shit. Yeah,
No, I
it's
got you. I got you.
everywhere.
So you did. So they followed. Somebody followed you to the crib. They followed you all the way to the crib.
Yeah, to the crib.
God damn, bro. And then they got your license, your address, all that shit, license plate, and then they. So how long was it that it? How long did it take the police to get there?
I like, I don't know, maybe like, I don't know, like maybe if I don't know, bro, because in the motion my adrenaline is pumping. You feel me? So it felt like maybe 10 minutes, but it probably could have been 15. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, you know, but
Fairly
it was
quick
pretty
though. I
fast.
mean,
It was pretty fast. It wasn't like a whole day went by or a few hours went
right.
by. Nah, it was like within 30 minutes. You feel me?
And you damn sure wasn't expecting them. You know what I mean? It wasn't even you. You
Nah,
know
I
what I mean?
wasn't
Like that wasn't
because
even.
I wasn't because where I was at, where they got me at, the whole hood was outside. You know what I mean? We was outside. You know what I mean? I'm in the hood, so you know the Grove. That's back then. It was hooded out. You feel me? So we was outside. You feel me? We was
Yeah.
outside. Like we was in the parking lot, drinking, smoking, bitches out there. You feel me? Like we got bitches from out of town coming through. Like, you know what I mean? Like niggas is running traps. You know what I mean? While all this is going, you know what I mean? We got niggas in their cars. You know, got the music blasting. You know what I mean? It's a circle in that car, circle around that car, circle around that car. By the time you look around, the whole parking lot filled. You feel me?
So
So
they
we was
came in.
outside.
They came in hot then, huh? I'm guessing.
Yeah, they came in. They came in hot, rushing.
Yeah.
Everybody scattered.
Yeah.
Everybody scattered, and they just started hitting everybody off. You know what I mean? They started picking up. They ain't just picked me up. You feel me? They picked a lot of other people up too. You
Yeah.
feel me? But um, that's at that moment I had to realize I had to just I had to just take the weight, bro.
You
I
kind
couldn't
of
just.
knew. You kind of
Yeah,
knew
because
that.
it
You
was.
know what I mean? Yeah.
I wasn't though. You feel me? Like if I got picked up by myself, I wasn't taking that rap, bro. Like I wasn't. You know what I mean? You got to get some evidence. We taking this to trial, bro. You
Yeah.
feel me? We taking this to trial, bro. You feel me?
That was
So
brave of that
since they,
motherfucker to follow you home, bro. After seeing you do that, man.
yeah,
They should have. You know what I mean? Like, what if you would have turned around and noticed they were following you? I mean,
and the crazy part is that man, when I don't want to spend too much time on this, but yeah, but the crazy part is that
this shit interesting, bro.
before I did it, before I pulled off in the car. I sat in the car for like a good 5 minutes just to make sure no cars went by me. But as soon as I came, you know what I mean, from the reports, when I got, when the reports came back, it said that, the driver that followed me had their lights off, and then they were just, I guess, creeping.
Yeah.
They was creeping with their lights off, and then I guess for 5 minutes, you know what I mean, they was creeping down the street with their lights off. And then, you know what I mean, I just pulled off and they just followed me, you know what I mean? So it was like,
Damn, bro. Man, it was almost like, I hate to say it, but it was almost like meant to be that because they was right in the right place. And, bro, who knows what that 10 years in prison saved you from?
nah, I anybody that asks me, they ask me, do I regret it and would I do it again? I tell them, yes, I would, because prison saved my life.
Yeah,
Like prison,
that's what I was talking about right there. You know what I mean?
yeah, it saved my life. Even though it was more dangerous than my life was. That what my life was already at. It was more dangerous. When I say more dangerous, it was times where I never cried, bro. Like I never cried to myself. Like I never prayed to God and cried, bro. Until I went to prison, until I started experiencing prison shit. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And that's from a gang banger experience. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's me. I'm only saying that on this platform because I never said it before. And on top of that, a lot of people they know me, and if they see this, they're gonna be like, "Damn, bro." It might make them cry because they know how I am. They know how militant I am. They know how much I'm with the shits, bro. Like if we got a problem, we got a problem then.
Yeah.
I come respectfully, but if you got a problem with me, instead of us talking it out, then okay, you know what it is. And if it has to deal with if we locked up or whatever, and I'm in the trenches and we locked up and I'm doing time, bro, just know that you ain't gonna be playing your bunk like a chump. You feel me? Like I don't do that. You feel me? I'm in
Yeah.
the yard. You feel me? I'm with all the
Yo,
big dogs. Like, you know what I mean? I'm
yo,
active. You know what I mean? So
listen, bro. I be
it's a
telling
difference.
people, bro. I be
Difference.
telling people, it's one thing when you be gang banging out here in the street, bro. It's a
Yeah,
whole other thing when you in
we
there
doing it now.
and you
Mhm.
gang banging. That's so different,
Yep.
bro. Because out here, yeah, you know what I mean? You got your, but in there, you gotta look at them motherfuckers. You in the chow hall, you got to see them motherfuckers. You might be in medical, you got to see them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? You might be
Right.
playing basketball, guess what? They might be playing on the other team against you, man. Like, you got to live with these motherfuckers, bro. God forbid they
And
put you
somebody
in a
got to
bunk
go.
next to them. Yeah, somebody got,
And
yeah,
somebody
yeah,
and
man.
somebody got to go. And it
Some,
ain't gonna be me.
yep.
You feel me? Like that's the mentality you gotta have, bro. It ain't gonna
Yeah,
be me, bro. You
right,
feel me? It ain't gonna be me, bro.
right,
I don't
right.
care. I don't care if they put me in lockup and you put me back in population. After I do my asset time, after I do my lockup time, put me back on population. Like, yeah, it's that
Yeah.
way for me.
So
For
I
me,
feel
I
you.
only can
Yeah,
speak for myself because of my situation. You know what I mean? How I
yeah.
have to move. You know what I'm
Somebody got
saying?
to
How I
go.
have to. Yeah.
Yes, somebody getting put on the door, and it ain't me, bro.
It's different
Somebody on
strokes
the
for
door.
different folks though. You know what I mean? Like I don't I don't condone it, you know what I mean? I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? It's not something I'm like high and big off of to where people be like, he think he tough. No, bro, I told you, I done cried, my nigga. Like I done cried and talked to God and say, God, yo, get me through this situation. And you know how I am. You know my heart. You know my family. You know where I want to do in life. You know who I want to be in life. Yes, I made these decisions, but I made these decisions based upon how it came to me. It like
Right.
I never asked the gang bang. Gang bang came to me because I said to my mom told me on the phone, bro. She was like, yo, I got beat up real bad one time. This is like a couple months in, and I called my mom's and I'm like, yo, ma, I just got beat up real bad, and I'm talking about like, you know, real bad. You know what I mean? And she was like, do what you gotta do to make it home. When she told me that, that was like Adrian saying to Rocky, you feel me?
Yeah.
Go get that nigga. You feel me?
Yeah.
So when she said that, bro, I already went into game mode. I already went to game mode, and then it was.
Oh, what happened? We lost him. Did he hit the back button by accident? Babe, you there? Get him back for me. Just tell him to come back. Very interesting, man. And I'm relating to his story a lot. Not so much why he went and how he got hemmed up. We all have our different ways that we get hemmed up. You know what I mean? But other than that, I was absolutely relating to everything else he was saying about having to go through that. You know what I mean? I remember crying to God saying, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, do I gotta be, you know what I mean? I gotta be turning to Jeffrey Dahmer in this motherfucker? You know what I mean? whatever, man. Whatever you got to do to make it home is exactly the correct answer, bro. Yo, welcome back, man.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, bro. I think that's God telling me, yo, chill out, relax.
It
Chill out,
happens, bro.
relax,
It
bro.
happens. All right.
Relax, bro.
But very
Yeah,
interesting story. Very
yeah.
interesting story, bro. I appreciate you even sharing that. You know what I mean? Because that's like, because what you're talking about are your personal mistakes and transgressions that you've committed, and then having to now face the music, quote unquote.
No pun intended.
Right. But no, bro, I think it's commendable, especially when you turn around and you say, you know what, I would do it again because blase, because of this or that. I would do it again. But
It
all
made
right,
me a better man, bro.
yeah, and who knows what it saved you from, bro? You know what I'm
Yeah, it's.
saying?
I mean, it. I was an R&B guy, bro. Like I used to sing. I used to sing tears to sleep you know what tears are. So
Yeah,
when you in the prisons and I'm singing tears to sleep. I'm singing a bunch of guys to sleep. They calling me every day like, yo, Rosin, take us out there. And I
yeah,
take them out there.
yeah,
And I take them out there, bro. That's the reason why I'm doing music today. That's the reason why I told you, like, it's different things that keep me going. And that's the reason why I'm still doing it today, is because I know that there was a time where I was in lockup doing 90 days, not 90 days, 90, which is 3 months in the hole for fighting on some gang shit. But then I got a whole tier of guys that's in these lockups that are asking me to sing R&B songs and
yeah,
take them out there. And you hear, and it's like it's for like hours. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you're doing that for like hours at night, and you got people sitting there writing their girl while I'm doing it. I used to be singing happy birthday to guys, girls, and mothers, you know what I mean, on the phone for them, you know what I mean? Like those type of things, singing that, I was like, yeah, I gotta do music, bro. Like I gotta come home and do music, bro.
I mean, again, now you're
So
talking to somebody who understands 100% what you're talking about, bro. I mean, we
so
was
so
locked
Rick,
up
hey,
in
hey
different
Rick,
places, but yeah, what's up?
I wanted to revert back to the question that you asked though. You asked me what's hip hop song. So when I came home, bro, it was a whole new wave. Like like I said, I was doing R&B. It was a whole new wave of R&B was damn near dead. You feel me? They had
Right.
this new shit. You know what I mean? I came home and they got this new shit. They got the Migos. They got all this new shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
So R&B like is dead now. You feel me? So all my niggas, they like, yo, you might as well start rapping. And they was like, when you sing, you sound like you rapping, because I had some songs that, you know what I mean, I did on a Bobby Shmurda beat. You know what I mean? I was singing on a Bobby Shmurda beat, the hot nigga. I was singing on that shit, and that shit went good in the hood. You know what I mean? It ain't go viral, but it went good in the hood. You feel me? So everybody was like, yo, you should start rapping, bro. And that's when I just started rap. I started rapping. So, but when I rap, you know what I mean, I go into who I used to listen to on the low, because I was always an R&B guy. You know what I
Right.
mean? I didn't listen to rap out loudly, you know what I mean, unless it was Mobb Deep, unless it was um like LL Cool J, or if it was like Wu Tang,
Bro,
DMX.
people don't
Um
understand how that Cool J was back in the day, bro.
Bro, Cool J is my GOAT, bro. Like only because only
Bro, he
only
came he
because,
came up with that term, bro. Ain't he the one that invented that?
right,
He
right,
invented that, bro. And
right.
everybody uses that shit all day long. Goat this, goat that.
He showed the
I'm
blueprint though. He
goaded.
gave. I say he's my GOAT only. I only say he's top one because he showed the blueprint. That's it. Not to say this is how you be a rapper, or this is
Yeah,
how you sound. You know what I mean? Everybody wants you to sound like LL. Nah, it's like this the blueprint. You know what I mean, on how to be a rapper. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like you ain't just gotta do rap hardcore shit. You can fuck with the R&B. You know what I mean? You can do movies. You can do shows. You can be out the box. You know what I mean? You don't have to just hip hop is just, not just one thing. You know what I mean? It ain't just spitting bars. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of things. It's a collaboration.
I consider R&B an element of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? As one of the foundation, blocks of hip hop.
It is. It is. If there wouldn't be no hip hop if it wasn't for R&B.
Right.
There wouldn't be no hip hop.
Right, and blues and jazz, all of those things came together. Yeah, man.
Because most of the songs back then, like in the 60s or the 80s, if you really go back and you listen to them, bro, they gonna sound like a slow rap song. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's like, if you listen to the wordplay, you're gonna be like, damn, like they not talking gangster, but back then it was all about love. It was all about relationships, you know what I mean? But they was talking they was talking that talk. You feel me? They wasn't really singing. You feel me?
I could drop you a name right now that somebody from back then that was talking that shit. Curtis Mayfield. He was talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like to the third power, he was talking that shit. I listen to him all the time still today. The album Superfly is one of the most incredible albums that has ever been put together, bro. And so far ahead of his time. So far ahead of his time, bro.
Yeah. That definitely came later than what I was thinking, but yeah, you're definitely right.
Yeah, maybe a little bit later than what you were saying, but I'm thinking that dude is the first rapper, like one of the first rappers, maybe not the first, but one of the first rappers. You know what I mean? And he was singing that shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could sing, you mentioned singing for the block, right? The cell block, that is. If you could sing for one person in the world, alive, dead, whatever, who would you sing for?
Who would I sing for?
Yeah, man.
Oh man.
You got one shot at this, bro. It's Eminem time. You got one shot to blow.
Damn, man. I mean, it's a tough question, bro.
I know. That's what I be doing.
It's a tough question, bro. Like, who would I sing for? One person in the world. Who would I sing for?
They could be alive or dead.
Damn. I'd probably say Michael Jackson, bro.
Damn, bro. That's a decent answer right there.
Yeah, I would say Mike, only because I would want to know like how to get better. You know what I mean? I want him to critique my shit. You know what I mean? Tell me like
Michael
do
Jackson,
this, you know what I mean?
one of the greatest, I mean, if not the greatest entertainer that human being entertainer that has ever, you know what I mean, right? I mean, bro, unfortunately, I'm old enough to remember a lot of that MJ wave, bro. You know what I mean? And I remember, man, people would fall out. That motherfucker come outside and just wave. And motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Just fall out, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he had, like the power, man, on people, bro. He was incredible, though.
I mean, I'm not going to, that's why I said it's a hard question because I wouldn't, he's not my favorite artist, you know what I mean? But
who's your favorite?
He's one of the,
Genuine?
he's one of the favorite.
Usher, Genuine?
Artists. I gotta say Prince. Prince is the best artist in the world, bro. Prince. Michael Jackson is the best. Michael Jackson is the best entertainer in the world.
Yeah, okay, that's accurate. So, that's accurate.
I would sing to Mike because it's entertainment. You know what I mean? I want him to tell me how how we gonna play this shit out to where it can go to Las Vegas? You know what I mean? Like, tell me, school me. I'm trying to get to Las Vegas. How you?
What's your favorite
Let me know
Prince song?
Ah, man, Doves Cry.
Doves Cry. That's great,
Doves
bro.
Cry.
I like a lot of his shit, man. But yeah, that's a good one, man. Little Red Corvette,
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
that raspberry John, that bitch go hard, bro. You don't talk about that raspberry, that bitch right there is serious, bro. It's crazy how all those iconic figures, right? It's crazy how they met their end, right? How all of them met some kind of weird. They ain't just died naturally. They had some kind of weird, like, circumstance around the way that they passed. Ain't that weird,
Yeah.
bro? And this been going back for a while now. Not just starting with those two, MJ and Prince, but going back, like, this happened to like a lot of big name entertainers. Mostly, you know, non-white. You know what I'm saying? Like in that spectrum there. You know what I mean? Although Presley met a weird ending. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was about to say Elvis. You know,
Yeah.
I was about to say Elvis. You know,
but let me
they
ask
still
you
think
this.
he alive.
Yeah, but what kind of music was Elvis doing when he died? See, that's what people need to explore.
Rock and roll, right? That's rock and roll.
But he had crossed over into black gospel
Blues.
music. Yeah, like right
Oh
when
yeah,
he died.
yeah, you did do. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
And then all of a sudden he got to go. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, I never was somebody that believed a lot in conspiracies, but evermore, bro. You know what I mean? I think I'm believing more than I'm not believing now.
I mean, well, nowadays it's like we have the information. You know what I mean? So we can look at things. You know what I mean? You seen how they dissected Nipsey Hussle's death. You know what I mean? You see how the internet did that. You know what I mean? So it's a little different now in times. Like back then, they was able to hide shit. You know what I mean? Nowadays, they still trying to hide shit, but we up on them.
Nipsey shit was all on cam, wasn't it?
Yeah, everything was on cam. Yeah.
Dude just came running up, said some shit to him, and Nipsey ain't back down, had the gun to his head and everything, and he just told him something. I forget what his last words were. Something to the effect that dude can go fuck himself. Something like that. You know what I mean? And then the dude killed him. That's fucked up, man.
I mean, what would you do, right?
Yeah.
Somebody got a gun to your head.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
You know he there to kill you. You know what I mean? What are you gonna try to talk him out of it? That ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? He there for a reason.
That happened to me twice in my life.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing both times. I looked the motherfuckers up and like I'm literally looking you in the eye. You feel me? I'm looking you in the eye and telling you, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do, bro.
I've had it happen to me, bro. I've had somebody put a fucking shotgun, slide that bitch right out the fucking car window on my ass, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just throwing my hands up like, what? I can't run. There's no running at this point. Plus, look at me. I'm running.
That's what I'm saying. Like, some people not built to run.
Right.
You know?
Even if I was built to run, I wouldn't run. I still wouldn't be built to run.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Exactly. That's how I look at the Nipsey Hussle situation. It's like he not built to run, bro. He in the game. He in the gang banging culture.
Yeah.
They don't do that. They don't build you. They don't build you to run. You feel me? Right. They don't do that. It don't matter. It don't matter if you on the East Coast or the West Coast. They don't build you to run. That ain't an option.
That's not an option. That.
It don't matter who you are. It don't matter who you are.
So
how and if you are doing that, then you're not real right. You know what I mean? You're not real official, because that means your morals, you know, I ain't gonna say for all sets, but for I don't even speak for mine, but for us, you know, it's like your morals is bigger than life. Yep. You know what you stand for. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna let that person do that, then that means you're gonna let the president can come here and fuck you in the ass. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean?
Hey,
Like, you're gonna allow whatever you want, bro, and that's not how you should be, because we got women out here to protect. You feel me? We got children out here to protect. You know what I mean? And they need to understand they need to understand that code of conduct. You know what I mean? And that's all it is. You know what I mean? It's nothing to harm nobody. It's just for people to understand that, look, man, you gonna shoot me, bro, because I know my God, bro. And I know my life, my nigga. Like,
I like that, bro. I like that. Shoot me.
I know my God, bro.
Shoot me, bro. Yeah, I like that, bro.
Yeah, you gonna kill this body, but I'm gonna come back a whole nother life. You can't kill my soul, bro. Like, everybody's eternal, bro. Everybody's eternal. So guess what? I'm gonna come back another life. That's cool.
Come holla at me. Yo, D, come holla at me on Sunday. I do a Faith and Fire stream at 1 p.m. You might like it, bro. It's talking about kind of what you talking about right now. Hey, so one last question for you, right? How did you find the Rick Ruger community?
Just off YouTube, scrolling. I scroll down. Just scrolling.
That's what's up, bro. We glad to have you, bro, because you got good energy. You know what I mean? You've been through the same type of shit we've been through. So, and we glad to have you, bro. We appreciate you coming through, man, for sure, bro.
Hey, it's good to be here, bro. Thank you for having me. You know what I mean? I appreciate you giving me a platform. You know what I mean? I wish we could talk a little bit more about music, rather, because it went a little left. But I understand, you know.
I don't think it went left, bro. It went a little into the real world, like it went into that. But check this out. We can have you. We can have you back for a part 2, bro. I do the follow up, John.
Cool.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, just talk to Lisa. We'll do the follow up, John, and we'll have you back. But yo, what projects or what do you got coming up right now? You want to tell the people?
Right now I just put out a single with Hot Nell, the one called Fire Inside. That's out right now. Somerset Grove projects that's coming out soon. That's my album that I'm gonna be releasing real soon.
Okay, got an album coming out.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
So when you drop the album, let us know, bro, and we'll promo it for you. We might do an album stream, or we'll at least play a lot of records off it. You know what I'm saying? So just let us know, bro.
You was already in my mind when I was thinking about doing it. I was already thinking about doing that. Like, I was already saying, I'm gonna promote it this way. You know what I mean? So,
that's what's up, bro. I'm
you was
glad
already
that you thought about
in my mind, bro.
Good shit, bro. Good shit, bro. I appreciate you, man. All right, bro.
No doubt.
Thanks for coming by, man. And we'll definitely we'll do this again, bro. I think it's a good conversation. Conversation people probably need to hear too, man.
Hey,
this
man,
this the real side of you, bro. You see what I'm saying? This the real you.
Yeah, I mean, it is, and it's a lot more of me. You know what I mean? It's like, that's just the short version, you know what I mean? Not even, that's just half, or not even a half, probably like a quarter version of who D Rising really is, as an artist, as a person, as a human being, but thank you for having me, Rick, bro.
Hell yeah, bro. All right, man. Yo, mad love to D Rising. I've been mispronouncing his name the whole time. I'm talking about D Risen. Nah, it's D Rising. I apologize to him. But yo, interesting story, and very relatable from my standpoint for a few reasons. He went through a lot of what I went through, or rather, similar situation, similar background, as you see my background. He's from a similar area. He's only from a couple hours up the road. In fact, me and Lisa, we were delivering back when we were doing that, working DoorDash and doing deliveries. We delivered right there. Babe, remember when we were up by Rutgers College and all that? So that was the area that D is from. So it's literally not that far away. There is a lot of similarities and a lot of relatability there. Not to mention that he's a great hip-hop artist. And you can catch his music coming up next on Rickrugerreviews, because we do have some of his music in the queue. Now, our next guest. Dude really doesn't need any introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. All right? I consider him one of my little brothers. Guy is funny. I've laughed more at stuff that he has said and written in the last year than I think I've laughed at anything else. Somebody who deals with a lot, but is always there to try to make you smile too. One of the most creative people I know, motherfucking A Money. A Money Nichols, what's up, bro?
Nothing much, just chilling.
All right, bro. I'm really glad to have you back. This is part two of the interview. We've had you on once. Is it nighttime where you're at? What's the time difference
No,
between here and?
I'm actually in the basement right now.
I'm fucking with you, bro. I'm just messing with you, bro, because it looked
Yeah.
like straight nighttime. Like, bro, wait a minute. You know
No.
what I mean?
No, just enjoying some time in the basement.
Is that a place you go to just chill, or are you just there to do the interview?
I'm just here to do the interview.
I got you. Okay, not a normal hangout or anything like that.
No. The only other time I come down here is if I need to grab something from the chest freezer.
Oh, okay. All right. You got the old, yeah. I grew up like that with the freezer in the basement and stuff like
Yeah.
that. All right, bro. So, what has anything changed in your life since your last appearance?
Outside of dealing with my right leg, knee, and foot like bothering me, and my right middle finger, like I don't know if I have nerve damage or neuropathy or something, but I got an X-ray done on my right foot.
What's wrong with your middle finger? It won't go down?
No, it hurts every time I like bend it, straighten it. It's just in a constant throbbing pain.
I was messing with you. It was a joke. Get
Oh.
it? Middle finger won't go
Oh,
down.
yeah.
So, what happened to your foot, man? Like, wait, you didn't get injured or anything?
No, as far as I know, no. I think
Okay.
it's something to do with my nerves.
Oh, okay. So you think is the foot on the same side as the middle finger that's having the problem?
Yes.
It's all on the same side?
Yep.
Okay, man. So have you made any appointments with any doctors or
Yeah, I have a telephone visit with a pharmacist who works with my primary care physician this upcoming Wednesday. And then the
Okay.
day before, I'll do an ultrasound on my knee.
Okay, so you already got one on your foot and now you're going to get one on your knee and then you're going to meet with the doctor and they're going to read you the results?
Telephone visit.
Okay. All right. Yeah, man. Get that taken care of, bro. You're too young and it'll really mess you up later in life if you don't handle that now.
Yeah, especially with having diabetes. I don't want to be in worse shape than my mother was, having part of her foot amputated and end up dying from sepsis.
Yeah. I hate to hear that, bro. Have you been keeping your sugars in line?
Yes.
You have? What do you do to make sure that your sugars are in line? Do you have a Dexcom?
It's like a Dexcom, but it's actually a Freestyle Libra sensor.
Oh, you got a Libra. Gotcha. Okay. And it sends it to your phone?
Yep.
Okay. So do you have an insulin pump?
No, I take insulin shots with a needle.
Okay. You might want to look into getting an insulin pump that you stick to your body and it works with the Dexcom and then it controls it better without you even really having to worry too much about it during the course of your day. Just look into it.
I would. Yeah, the only way I will for sure is if, like, some reason my sugar doesn't get better or stay better, and if my diabetes is worse.
I hear you.
I'll do it as like a worst case scenario.
Okay, I understand. The reason that I chose to go with the pumps is because I got sick of sticking myself with the needle.
Yeah.
Right?
I do get that.
It sucks, right? After a while.
Yeah.
Have you
And
developed any?
that's why I don't do the glucose meters, is because I hate having to prick my fingers.
I refuse. If it's
Yeah,
left up to that, I think I'm dead. You know what I mean? I
same.
refuse. Have you developed any scar tissue in your stomach or belly, like where you
No,
shoot? No.
no,
Yeah, I have. It sucks.
no, he's not yet.
You've been diabetic your whole life?
No, only the last 6 years.
Oh, okay. So you're type 2?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Cool.
although
Um,
my mother did have type 2 also.
your mom developed type 2 over time as well?
Yep,
Okay. So it's something that may run in your family,
yeah,
possibly.
yep.
All right. So today, one of the topics that you wanted to discuss, A Money, was suicide prevention and your work with uh, that foundation, right?
Yeah, it's called the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, or AFSP. I
AFSA.
am an advocate for
Okay.
them.
All right. When did you first become involved with that organization?
Last year, it was actually during one of the Out of Darkness walks they had
Okay.
up at Presque Isle.
Can you explain what that walk is?
It's just an ordinary walk where you'd walk a certain distance, a circle, and you wear like different beads and that to honor someone who died and passed from suicide, whether
Okay.
it's your loved one, like your son, daughter, mother, or just a friend, even.
So were you in? So did you hear about the walks before you got involved with them, or was the
Not
walk?
really.
Okay. So what made you initially want to become involved with them?
Uh, I think a lot of it was to do with the fact that I had a real good friend in high school who died by suicide, and
Oh, okay.
also producer E. Freezy died by suicide last year.
Okay. So it was a situation that had hit close to home for you,
Yeah,
and then so it became.
and
Go ahead.
being on and having like I've had like thoughts in the past, but I've gone past it. But I understand that not everyone does.
Right. Yeah, and that's very true, A Money. So when you had those type of thoughts, and I'll be honest with you, I've had them, and you know I've said that on the show. Um, what have you done in those situations to not act on what you're feeling?
I have always thought back and see if I were to just end it, like, how would my family feel? Would they feel worse without me here than they do with me? And also, how would my closest friends feel? And how would the people closest to me feel? And that there's more life to live. Just because it's depressing and that now doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna stay that way.
Absolutely. I think that's the most important point there. Although everything you said was important, Money. I think that people throw their whole lives away because they're going through a rough period. But life can be long. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And you're going to go through different periods. You're going to go through better periods. So that was good that you thought like that. You know what I mean? Like you knew
yeah,
this is just a bad moment. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah.
going to have good moments again too. So, how can autism affect the way somebody expresses their emotional pain?
Uh, how autism affects it is the fact that a lot of times with autistic people, you can't even tell. like how they're feeling, because a lot of times when they're sad, depressed, and that, they are basically taught when they're younger, you gotta mask it. You gotta mask it to make yourself look happier when inside you're actually not.
Right.
Like if you're working a normal 9 to 5 job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you act different while you're on the clock.
Yeah.
And when you come home and you unmask, what are some of the things that happen?
Well, with that, I just I just try to do what I really can't do at work, as I'm too focused on the job to like do things like take deep, slow breaths, say everything's gonna be okay.
Right.
Try to try to keep positive thoughts going through my head.
When you're at work, do you communicate with a lot of people at work, or do you kind of stay off and kind of do your job, kind of do your thing?
I usually just try to just do my job, just talk to like the supervisor or a coworker if I need a question answered.
Okay, so you tend to want to stick to yourself.
Mostly.
So when you come home is when you become more social. You jump online, you say what's up to us, and
Yeah.
you kind of
Yeah.
the real A money starts to kind of come out.
Yeah. You didn't
Uh,
say that.
that's cool. I think I understand exactly what you're talking about. Um, so, what kind of situations can make an autistic person feel isolated, or what can make you feel overwhelmed?
What can make me feel overwhelmed would be like an example with work would be like if there were a bunch of like different like noises that shouldn't happen, or if there are a lot of lights shining towards me, because with a lot of autistic people, they have sensitivity towards light
Hmm.
and unwarranted noises.
Right. So, what happens when you become overwhelmed?
I just What has helped me like get through work in that is I actually use bone conductor headphones from Raycon to listen to music.
And they allow that in everything
Yes,
at work, right? They let
yes,
you
they
do
allow
that.
bone conductor headphones as long
What it
as you can hear everything else around you.
so when you become overwhelmed, what is that feeling like inside?
It's it's more of an uneasiness than anything.
Okay, like you like an uncomfortableness.
Yeah.
Do you at that point feel like you want to remove yourself from the situation, or do you push
Mm,
through?
I just like push through. I don't really remove myself unless something else is happening, like if the machine were to like break down, or if something else like that happened. Other than that, I just push through it,
So when
which
the
for most autistic people, they can't.
right, right, I was gonna say that they usually shut down or
Yeah.
remove themselves immediately.
Yeah, and that's why with my autism is the outdated term would be high functioning autism.
Yeah.
Today it's now called Asperger's syndrome.
Right. I don't like the term high functioning.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't.
either.
Yeah, I don't. I don't care for that. Um,
I don't either, because even people who don't have Asperger's, they still have high functions like in their brains and that. They're still very intelligent. It's just harder
absolutely.
for them to show it,
Absolutely. It implies that there is a lack of intelligence if they're not.
which is not true.
Right. That's a misconception of autism. That's
Yes.
that's why we do these interviews. We try to get to know you better and to clear up. That's why I'm asking you all these questions so these viewers tonight they can get a sense of what's true and what's not. You know what I mean? So
And that's why I sometimes do shorts about autism. Like I did a short recently explaining autistic rumination, which is when you dwell on a bad situation in the past, thinking it's like the worst case scenario.
so how has bullying or feeling different affected or can affect an autistic person's mental health?
It can, like with an oversensitivity towards light and noise, it can effectively shut down an autistic person, like if they're bullied more than enough times.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, I was kind of part of like the not really jock crowd that would kind of like bully people, but I kind of let it happen when I shouldn't have.
It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Yep. And that was high school too,
Yeah, exactly. You were a
but
kid.
still,
Yeah.
but
But
still, as a kid in that, you need to learn. You need to know that bullying someone because they're different is wrong.
I think that you're right, and I think you shouldn't beat yourself up too much for it, money, because at least now
No, I
you
don't.
look back good because you look back and you see the mistake that you made, but now
Yeah,
you're actually actively involved in trying to help people and stuff like that. So
yeah,
yeah, definitely, man. I think that's a lesson well learned for you. I think you've learned what you're supposed to learn from that. Um,
true.
what do people often misunderstand about mental health? And like because you're an advocate for suicide prevention, what is one of the things people misunderstand about suicide itself?
I think one of the biggest misconceptions, not with suicide in general, but with mental health in general, is the years long thing where, oh, men don't need mental health. Like, it's weak for them to, like, cry or have any other emotion than just be strong, be happy all the time.
Right.
No,
Like
no,
that's
men
not
need
real
to
life.
cry
Right.
when they need to.
Right.
And
That
do you not realize that back 500 years ago, it was actually very manly to cry and wear dresses?
I didn't know all that, but
Yeah, yeah, it was considered manly to cry in the 1500s because it actually shows that you have more emotion. It actually shows that you're more caring for
yeah.
others.
Yeah, things are a lot different now.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, there's a lot less caring and a lot less people really.
empathy.
Right, that's a good word. What should someone avoid saying to somebody who is autistic and is struggling?
I say the two main words and adjectives that you need to cut out, like towards like people struggling with their mental health, with autism, whether it'll be like another mental health problem like PTSD, would be like saying that the person is slow and that the person is the R word. I am not saying that word.
You're anything but that word. Let me just tell
Yeah.
you that. I mean, that word doesn't even. Autistic and Down syndrome are such completely different conditions. They have nothing to
And
do
not
with.
only that, but with people with Down syndrome, there's quite a few of them that still have good intelligence, that are still great people.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And nobody should be ridiculed for something that they were born with that they can't even do anything about.
True.
You know, right? They didn't choose that. You know, I mean, it's just the way
No.
it happened.
Yeah.
Um, what can someone say to somebody? What can somebody say that helps a struggling person to stay to feel safe enough to open up, so that they talk about their problems, so that they don't do the suicide?
One thing, as cliche as it may sound, it I would say it would be like some along the lines of, "You're not alone. I empathize with you. I understand what you're going through. If you ever need to talk, I am here to listen to you, because your problems uh, matter as much as mine do."
That was so well put, bro. So we know that some autistic people, they have a hard time finding the words when they speak. You know what I mean? A hard time with the expression. What are some things that families and friends can do when someone's having a difficulty finding the expression?
One thing that other family members could do would be to, like, if an autistic person was having a breakdown, like wanting to throw things or whatever, don't yell at them. Tell tell them, like ask what's wrong in a caring voice. Like, talk to them kind of slowly, but at the same time, not too slow.
Right. Okay. Um, what role does like routines and trusted people and community support play in difficult periods? Is that something that helps you staying in a routine? Going to
Yes.
you go to therapy, community support.
No no therapy, because unfortunately in my area the therapists aren't exactly the greatest when it comes to mental health, especially in men.
Okay,
Still,
so you feel
and
on.
that's another thing I want to say. Just because you're a man doesn't mean your mental health does not matter. It matters as much as anyone else.
That's right, A Money. Men sometimes get swept under the carpet. I feel like men get used up and then they get kind of discarded, and then women get all hot again as they get older. They, you know what I mean? They get all these surgeries. They
Yeah,
start looking hot again, and then where's the man? Now the man's life's been all used up. I'm telling you, I see the potential for the depression, for the situation that you're talking about. I can see
yeah,
that, and I do see it.
and
Um,
that's like with men who are actually domestic violence victims and SA victims.
yeah.
Like,
Uh,
we don't talk enough about that.
no, we don't. Now I joke a lot about Lisa beating me up, but I mean those are jokes. You know what I mean? those
Yeah,
are those are jokes. But unfortunately, there are
there's a lot of
situations,
men who fear a woman because a woman is batshit crazy.
for lack of a better term, absolutely. Um, so, what resources and organizations have helped you personally in your prevention work?
Honestly, a lot of how I've been reaching out, like with prevention and that, is mostly just, honestly, right now, word of mouth, like sharing everything on, like, whether it be Facebook or YouTube or whatnot, like sharing it via myself.
Gotcha. You went to Harrisburg, right?
Yes,
Can you
for
tell us?
advocacy action day, where I actually talked with two of the representatives about like having more mental health awareness, more awareness for the number 988, which to anyone who is struggling with a mental health crisis or any other crisis, and you're at the point where you are contemplating suicide, dial 988. Either dial it or text it. They will listen to you. They will ensure that you are not alone, and you will get out of it.
That's great, bro. That's good advice. So what kind of things did you? What all did you do when you were in Harrisburg?
Mainly, like mainly, I talked with the two representatives. I visited the state capitol building. I learned how to speak with like the representatives to talk to try to pass more legislation to show to advocate for the awareness of not just mental health and the number 988, which actually replaced the previous number 1-800-273-8255. Yeah, the number 988 replaced it mainly because it's easier to remember
Okay,
and
I didn't
not
know
as
that.
long to dial.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, they replaced that about 5 or so years ago. So the title of the same song by Logic, Alessia Cara, and Khalid may be outdated, but the subject matter to some people, it's still it still matters as much
It's still very
as if,
relevant.
yeah, like if someone were to do a song called 988 or like the mental health crisis hotline.
Maybe somebody should do that.
If no one would, I will.
Right. That's what I
Take
meant.
the bull by the horns.
You're the somebody. um, so, are you part of any like local autistic groups in your area where you live?
I am not entirely sure if Corey has any, or even Erie for that matter, but if there were, I've never even known about it, but that's something that I'm gonna have to look towards, is finding more like autistic groups and stuff like that to join to brain awareness.
Plus, you can get around people that share the same struggles that you
Yeah,
share, and you being a little bit more with your Asperger's, you're able to you know what I mean? You're
more
able to
communicative towards
right
them.
exactly. You could be a bridge between them and everyone else. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I would look into that if that's something that you're interested
yeah,
in. Um,
definitely,
how far are you
definitely.
from Erie?
I am 45 minutes southeast.
And you have your own vehicle and everything. That's
Yes.
great. I didn't know when you started saying Erie. That's when I looked you up on the map because Erie's far from me. Erie's about as far. It's like I'm at the corner. PA's is a
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
here and you're way. You know what I mean? Like clear across the state
Yeah.
at the tip at the furthest point away from me. I couldn't believe how far you were from me. I didn't know you
Yeah.
just drive.
I'm like the northwest tip and you're at the southeast tip.
Exactly. I didn't know you could drive 7 hours straight and still be in PA. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Crazy.
especially driving on 79 and 76.
Oh, 76 is
That easy.
that's crazy. Um, so okay, so that might be something that you could benefit from, and
Yeah,
maybe in Erie being a little bit bigger, maybe they would have something like that.
and if Erie didn't have enough like groups and that, like I'm only 2.5 hours away from Pittsburgh too, so I could
That's
even help like Pittsburgh too.
well, in Pittsburgh, you could probably go to events, but
Yeah,
as far as like attending like group a meeting or something like that, or that's
I would
kind of
have
far.
to mostly do like Zoom calls and stuff like that.
I didn't even think of that, but that is pretty cool too. Doing the
Yeah,
Zoom calls for that. Yeah, man, you could expand the whole thing here.
yeah,
Um,
and if there's no like groups in Erie and that, I can ask like the leaders of groups in like Pittsburgh, like how do you like start a group and what kind of people do you need to help like promote it to help get it off the ground.
wow, bro. See how fast your brain works? I wasn't
Yeah,
there yet. You know what I mean? I wasn't there yet, and
and
here you
that's
are.
one thing with Asperger's, a lot of their brains can be like that, or in other words, some autistic people are also called savants.
Yeah, they're really good in one. They know they're very knowledgeable in one area.
And the outdated word for that was gifted,
Yeah, I remember that in school. The gifted kids. I remember that.
which is very demeaning.
Yeah. What? So you don't like that term, gifted?
Not, I don't get offended by it, but I understand why others would, because, oh, you're gifted with this, you're gifted with that. Like, excuse me, but as I'm, I may be, that may be the areas I'm best at, but it doesn't mean I'm not good at anything else.
Absolutely. When did you first find out that you had Asperger's, like officially?
Uh, Technically, I was diagnosed with on the spectrum when I was about a year or 2 years old.
Right.
Is basically when I was a baby.
But when did they realize that it
It
was
was more like
Asperger's? Yeah.
uh technically it would be about the same time because another outdated term for Asperger's would be pervasive developmental disorder.
I don't think I've heard that.
It was like more 90s terms
Okay.
for like autism and stuff like that, but it was more like realized, oh, it was more like Asperger's when I was around 6, 7 in elementary school.
And what kind of do they give you? Like, because you gotta understand, I know nothing about it. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah,
learning a lot. I'm learning a lot from you. So
yeah.
what do you? So you're not? They don't make you like. There's no therapy involved or anything like that. Unfortunately, right?
The only, a lot of times with therapy is with therapy, you have to like go to the doctor and basically like ask for therapy and show more signs that you, you're more than just like having a depressed mood and stuff like that.
Okay. Do they give
It's
you?
kind of difficult to get into therapy like with autism alone.
That sounds like that's no bueno, man. You know what I mean? Like
It isn't.
you should have access there, man. You should because you might deal with mental health on a different level than say the next person. You may have more reason to go to therapy.
And a lot of people on the spectrum also have other mental problems like depression, anxiety, even stuff like obsessive compulsion disorder or
Mm,
OCD.
yeah. Yeah. A lot of people do. A lot of people have a touch of that, don't they?
Yeah,
A lot of people. They don't even realize it.
like, oh, where did I put something? Oh, it's where you left it.
That's my mom perpetually looking for something. You know,
Yeah,
always spends her whole day looking for something. Her keys, her phone, her this, her that. It's like, it drives me crazy. I mean, I can't lie. It really does. I got to get out of there. You know what I mean? It drives me nuts, man. Um,
it and me too, bro.
so, what's next for A Money?
What's next for me will be I will be going on another Out of Darkness walk up at Pret Style on September 19th to
Cool.
bring more suicide awareness to and and also I know quite a few friends who a- attempted and looking back I can see why in their darkest days and that, but I understand too that it's not it's not just up to their brains to tell them everything's going to be okay. Like everyone who's struggling mentally with depression and that, they need a group of friends to come together and say, "You're not alone. I empathize with how you're feeling. It's going to be okay," and
See,
be
and
there for them.
you can be that person, A Money, and you are that person. So when you go on this walk, man, are you gonna make some footage from? Are you gonna make some
Yeah,
content, man? To make
yeah,
some shorts or let us see,
yeah.
what's going on
And
there.
and from last year, I have a few pictures on my Facebook from it, but
Ev-
mainly it's just an outdoor walk where you walk along a few of the trails in Presque Isle. So you're seeing the beautiful like Lake Erie and Presque Isle Bay and all that too.
So it's every
So you're
year,
out in nature.
the best. So this walk is every year, like an annual thing,
Yes, every year is
and
annual.
this will be your second time.
Yes.
All right, cool. So this is a tradition for you now, right?
Yep. It's
You
becoming traditional.
have you met anybody on these walks that are like you?
Yes. And I've actually met, like, not really met, but I realized that a few of my friends that I've had in high school and that actually go on the walks too.
Oh, see, you just never know, right? You just
Yep.
never
You
know.
never know who it affects. And
Right.
technically, it affects everyone.
I agree
It's
with
just
that.
you don't know at what capacity.
And that's why you should treat everybody with
The
kindness when you meet
same.
them. Right,
And
because you
by the
don't
same,
know.
I mean with respect, with love, with care, with empathy, with sympathy.
Exactly. You you're somebody who knows a lot about how to talk to people, how to interact with people. Is this something that you learned because of how the mistakes people made in interacting with you?
Uh, Partially. And I think I've learned it mostly through my mistakes and how I've communicated with others and realizing, hmm, maybe if I communicated this way, maybe people wouldn't be so off put by what I say.
Hmm. I've met autistic people throughout the course of my life, and a couple of them have been very blunt uh, in the way that they communicate. Like they don't realize
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you don't
that's
seem
a
to
more
have that.
severe case.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you seem to be very aware um, of people's boundaries. You seem very
Yeah,
aware of people's feelings and
yeah.
respect. And And so you don't seem to have that problem. You are aware.
No,
Yeah.
and quite a few people with like Asperger's and very more mild like cases on the spectrum, you act a bit more quote normal than like people with more severe cases who are even nonverbal.
Yeah, that's it.
And that is very sad and
Yes.
disheartening for me, because
Yeah.
I wish that I could see inside their heads what they're thinking.
And you understand their struggles. You get
Yeah,
it. You're feeling it on a different level. You're quote unquote you're in the trenches with them.
yes,
Hey,
because
money.
they don't have a voice
Right.
like to,
This is what I'm telling you, money. You can be their voice
yes,
because you're a bridge between
the nonverbal
and the
and the
verbal.
normal people.
I don't like that term.
Yeah, normal, I don't like it either.
I don't
Or
like
the
that.
neural, or a better term would be non-neural divergent.
Yeah, because you the way you phrase it, and I know you didn't mean anything by it, but
Yeah,
I see more normalcy in you than
or
I do.
normalcy, yeah.
Yeah, than I do in
And the
what they
non-neural divergent.
right what they would call normal people. Like I see it more in you. You're more normal. You're more aware of people's and the quote unquote normal people. They're the ones that don't care about the person next to them. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? They say whatever, do whatever,
and
push whoever out of the way.
and you know what's crazy about the whole thing is that part of why, despite being on the spectrum and being neurodivergent, why I seem to have a bit of normalcy is the fact that even with like the IEP, even with other things that are supposed to like quote unquote help neurodivergent people, it put me in classes with a non-neurodivergent. So by that, I had to kind of learn by myself, like how do I get through this? How do I do regular homework and stuff like that? And that was like all the way back in elementary school, even.
So you had to you were forced to kind of navigate a lot of this crap yourself.
Unfortunately, yes.
You
And
didn't have a
nothing,
support system, and the Philly's a big city, so I know that autistic children here, when they go to school,
yeah,
there's a support system in place for them. I
yeah,
can't
yeah, and
say what it's like in Erie or in Corey.
yeah, it's kind of hard to say because a lot of the neurodivergence and like Philly and that, a lot of them would have more like what they would call special education classes,
Right, right.
which
But
you
you
do
wouldn't need
have
that, would
in
you?
like Erie somewhat, but not so much in Corey, because with Corey High School, they don't get like a lot of the funds and that, like what the Erie School District or the Philly School District or Pittsburgh or even Reading would,
Yeah,
or Allentown would.
right, right. How far are you from Allentown? Probably like what, 4 or 5 hours?
Like 5.5,
Yeah,
because
that's wild. Well, I'm like
Allentown
3 hours. I'm three
is what
hours.
I was gonna say. It's a bit closer to Philly than it is
Yeah,
Erie.
yeah. I'm three
Same
hours
with
from that.
Bethlehem, Scranton.
Yeah, Scranton a little bit further off than
Yeah,
Allentown, but
because that's more northeast.
yeah,
Same with
I do.
Wilkes-Barre.
I do want to go there, and the reason I want to go there is like completely so unvalid, and there's like no reason for it. But I just want to go there because The Office was filmed there. You know what I mean? Like, and there's like no reason to go there. Those people are not there. I will not find Michael Scott when I go there. You know what I mean?
Nor Dunder Mifflin Company.
Right, that won't be there. I think the building's there though.
Yeah, the whole inspiration is there, but the invalid thing would be.
I'm not gonna find Dwight. You know what I mean? Nope. He's not gonna come out.
You ain't gonna find Rainn Wilson being Dwight again.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Saying
Unfortunately,
false.
False, Jim. Identity theft is not a game, Jim.
Or Steve Carell as Michael Scott going, "Oh God, no!"
You remember that? Did you watch that show?
Yes.
That part was so funny.
I like The Office.
They were like,
I thought it was pretty neat. And did you know about The Office too? That the original series was not in the United States, but the United Kingdom.
Yeah, I know. I tried to watch it. I started out, of course, with the American one, and then after a while, money, I got curious. I was like, well, let me see what their one is like. Did. I just couldn't get into it, bro. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
The English one was the American one, rather. That's the English one. the American one.
Yeah, the U.S. version is the one that you gravitate towards.
Yeah, it's the more funnier one. The one that made more sense to me. Oh,
yeah.
Man. God, no. No. Oh, I love it, bro. Oh, man. All right, buddy. That's all I got for you today. Listen, I think I enjoyed this interview better than our first one, man, because...
Me too, brother.
We got into more of the important stuff. So
yeah, we were actually to be more open and actually learn more about what it is to be neurodivergent versus non-neurodivergent.
And I hope a lot of people will learn as much as I did when they're watching this. So much love, Money.
Much love to you, brother.
All right, man. We'll see you. I'll see you later, man. All right, I'll see you at
brother.
The Rick Rugers. All right, bro. Much love, man. All right, so 2 amazing interviews. As far as I'm concerned, all of these interviews that I've done have been, they've been very interesting. So shouts out to D. Risen. Pretty interesting story there. Thank you for being honest, coming through, sharing it. We'll get him booked for a part 2 because his story was just, you know what I mean? Like he has so much going on that he may need a part 2 to tell the rest of his story. And of course, Rick Ruger's favorite on A Money Nichols. A Money with the nickel nipples. What's up, bro? Man, an amazing interview, bro. I think you did, Money, you did fantastic. You expressed yourself perfectly. You were able to provide a lot of information. And for anybody out there, whether you be male, female, whether it's you, whether it's somebody that you may know, if they are struggling with those thoughts, okay, just do what Money told you to do, and get some help. And you can reach out to me. You can reach out to A Money, or you can reach out right to the Suicide Prevention Association. So much love to both of my guests tonight. Stay tuned for Rickrugerreviews next. And remember, man, don't ever skip dessert.
Well, that's the end. We're calling it a night. The buffet was loaded and the food was just right. Stacked up the plate, then I went back for 3. If there's one more dessert, save a slice for me. Mashed potatoes, chicken ribs on a roll. Mac and cheese put a smile on my soul. Ice cream, corn, pie saying come on back. I ain't leaving till my buttons start to crack. Hey, we cleaned that buffet. Every single tray got carried away. From the first bite to the last French fry, we ate so much we nearly touched the sky. So wave goodbye till the next big feast. Bring your appetite from west to east. Same big laugh, same hungry crew. The Big Fat Rick the next Big Fat Rick Show. Stay hungry.